provided that stimulus because she had masses of material, and in cutting that down to the barest minimum to get the concept of it's the innocent that suffer, actually forced her to decide where she stood. She has Irish connections. She doesn't know whether she's for it or against it. She tries to deal with it from a human point of view. And I think that through that, she actually changed. I think she changed.
Shailush took on a different theme, the environment, again using the technique of photo montage.
I've got a good idea of what you're doing because I can read.
This has allowed Tony to open out the idea of representation with him.
Out of the Hockney work, because he's got one similar in there.
Yeah.
And yet you've put in something that wasn't there when you were sat there, and you've joined them together to try and get a message across. Now, can you tell us about that message? Because it may be worth just talking about what you might need to explore with this.
Well, what it was is I was just thinking as if I was sitting in the car, driving along a street and looking at the things that have actually been destroyed.
Right.
Like the trees that have all been just collapsed at the wind. And this, I've actually tried to create a skyline that is not really true.
Right, because it could be quite a long way away there.
Yeah.
Representation is a concept which students can understand quite simply, because through representation, it's how someone has shown the world or themselves or an aspect or an issue of some kind. And in art, we call that the form. So representation and that language are quite closely connected.
Combining talk and reflection with practical work allows students' understandings to develop at their own pace. A specific point arising here concerns the title and its lettering.
And so you've called it Road to Disaster because it seems to clarify or make it more clear to people what it is you're trying to do. And so these are what? These are different ways of doing the title.
That's right, yeah.
And which ones do you like?
Well, I've rejected that one.
And why did you reject that one?
Because this is a devastation piece and that just looks too formal.
And where do we normally see formal lettering like that?
Well, I thought about newspapers and things like that.
Which could have given the idea that it was a headline, but you thought that that was too formal for the meaning that you were trying to convey.
That's right, yeah.
And so which one are you going for now?
I'm actually battling between these two here.
Those two, right. And I think the value really lay in the fact that he was bringing something of himself to the issue, which he obviously responded to. The environment is a big issue that lots of people are responding to in various ways. And through montage and through some of the media concepts that we were dealing with, he was actually to impose and to construct something of himself, some of his own views. Not to say that he'd actually finalised those views, but montage gave him a form. I think that's what I'm getting at. That montage provided the form to deal with a concept or the content, which was environment. And I think that investigation actually has made him more confident, not only with art and design, but with his own feelings, his own views. I think it's the connection between self and society which a lot of the students have found relevance in.